going on? Welcome back to Desire to Inspire. Before we get started, yeah, there it is, baby. Before we get started, if you guys enjoy any of this content, go ahead and share this podcast. It is really like the only way that you can really show support. There's not really like, and it's free. Just fucking share this shit.
Do
But
it.
anyway, I'm here with my boy Freddy. I don't even think we need to like get into any, oh, how's your day going today? I think we
Nah.
just need to hop into this one, man.
Yeah, we do. I think you got some stuff to share, baby.
Yeah, I mean, so as of the day we're recording this, I kind of like just made this announcement. I made it through a newsletter. I made it through Twitter. I told like some people close to me, but I am pulling out of the Ironman in November. I know we've talked about it a lot on here, but I feel like it's the best decision for myself. I've been getting super burnt out, and I feel like I wanted to be open and vulnerable about it because like it is something that I'm struggling with, and I feel like people struggle with a lot of shit.
Hmm.
And so I would rather just be open and let people know like that this is something I'm going through, and this is a decision that I had to make for myself, regardless of the commitment I made, the group of guys who are doing it. I just felt like this was something that I needed to step back from and kind of reshift my focus.
Yep. As I told you, man, that's not Iron Man in my eyes. It's a lifestyle. It's not just like a one
Yeah,
and done type thing. And the people that are in that community are super loyal and dedicated to it for an extended period of time. And it's just one of those things where, I mean, I remember you sending me training videos in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. And I'm like, does this dude do anything else? So
not
I'm
really,
excited to kind
man.
of
Not really.
yeah, you didn't have time to. I'm kind of excited to get into this though, because we started this journey pretty much at the same time. I started 75 hard.
Mhm.
And so you've had a while that you've been doing this. You've had a lot of money that's been tied into it. And so I think there's a big story here where Dylan can actually show a little bit more of like I guess you could say like the vulnerable side of him that I don't think we've gotten to see yet.
Right.
Because I feel like this, ever since you changed your lifestyle years ago, is the first thing in my eyes that I know of ever since we've gotten closer that's kind of knocked you down a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's
And
also the first thing like that I've been like, okay, like I'm gonna change my mind. Like whether it's been a marathon or was 75 hard for me last year was like there was no other option but to do it.
mhm,
And like so this is like the first thing where it's like, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
yeah, what was that inclination you had, or what was that like first thing where you started to realize that maybe it wasn't for you, or maybe it wasn't the path you should go down?
I'd say it's probably been at least for like the last month, but my heart's just not been in it. And I think like my heart wasn't in it from the start. And so like even like I just told my coach a couple days ago and he's like, look, dude, like if you need, because I told him last week, I was like, hey man, like I need a week off. I'm like, I'm burnt the fuck out. Like, and he was like, hey man, totally understand. Like you just moved, like you're starting a new job, all this and that. And so like he was super supportive about it. But then I kind of hit him up and he's like, well, look, dude, if you need to take like a month off, it's not going to hurt your progress.
Hmm.
Like, so like if you do want to revisit this, just let me know. And obviously, like I've already paid for it. So like if I really wanted to do it, I can. But I told him I was like, I don't even think that's gonna be an option at this point. Like it just doesn't align with where I'm at. So I think that from the start, my heart really wasn't in it. I
Hmm.
think that I was coming off of the high of getting off this marathon. I saw all these dudes signing up who like it wasn't their lifestyle either. Like these are like people who are powerlifters, strongman, like just everyday fucking general health seekers. And so I was like, oh, like if these dudes are doing it, I've already got 1/3 of the thing that I know I can do. And so I was like, let's just do it, like whatever. And so I just kind of jumped in like 100%.
Yeah.
And it's not something you can half-ass. Like you said, it's a lifestyle. Like either I'd
Yep.
be all in or all out, and I'm not even close to being all in. So
Yeah.
I think that a big turning point was so I did an Olympic triathlon, which I don't know if we talked about on here,
Mm-mm.
which was like a mile swim, a 25-mile bike, and a 6-mile run. And I did it with a guy out here who was
That
also
was
training for that.
that was going to be my follow-up question. So I'm
Yeah.
excited you're getting into this.
Yeah, and so we did it together out here, which is super cool. Like I had never met the dude, but it was like we knew each other. Like it was very one of like those moments where it's like, oh, like I feel like I knew this dude forever. Like we were just talking
Hmm.
about literally everything. And I really thought I was about to struggle through the swim, but I think him being in the lane next to me, I kept up. So I was like, all right, cool. The bike, we were good. And then like we both even got off the bike. We're like, we feel pretty good right now. He was like, I might be able to do this shit tomorrow.
Damn.
Dude, I'm telling you, got 2 miles into the run, and it was like, boom, like we just hit a wall. I don't know if like we didn't eat enough. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was rough. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, so we hit a 3 mile and we start coming back, and he's like, dude, I gotta walk. He's like, I gotta walk. So I'm like, all right, like I'm not gonna leave you here. Like
Yeah.
I can push through the run, but I'm not gonna. We started together, like let's finish it out together. And even him, like he's like, dude, I don't know. Like he's like, my heart's not in this. Like he was even talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I kind of feel the same way. And
Hmm.
so today he hits me up and he's like, hey man, do you have a 3 mile ride this weekend? I was like, actually, dude, I pulled out. And so like I just kind of told him about it. He's like, I'd be lying if I haven't considered the same thing. He's
Hmm.
like, I definitely respect your decision for being able to do it, because that's a lot of outside pressure. And I think that that's what was really getting to me was that, and it wasn't even like they were pressuring me to do it, but it's like all these dudes know, like it's we all talk about it all the time. So it's like I don't know. I felt like, am I letting these people down? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? And at the end of the day, I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm not gonna make myself miserable for the next 6 months. Like,
Yeah.
if this was next month, I'd be like, all right, I'll push through. But it's just 6 months away, dude, and I'm not willing to do that to myself.
Yeah. Do you think that your change of scenery in terms of moving to Arizona affected this in the sense of like it kind of made you ground yourself to be like, what do I want in life or what is life or anything like that?
So I think like the idea was already there,
Hmm.
and then I do think like it played some of a impact because like I had to switch my schedule around because I can't run midday here. Like, it kind of made me like shift things around.
Hmm.
And then I am starting a new job next week. And I'm like, this job's probably going to take more time than my current job. So how am I really going to fit this in? And even then, it's like, even if I could fit it in, do I want to fit it in? So I think like in a way, maybe, because I did
Yep.
like over like the last week and a half, like look at like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, what is my actual reason here? And I couldn't come up with one. Like I couldn't come up with like a legitimate reason for myself, like that I wanted to finish this anymore. It, other than like just pushing myself and seeing what I'm capable of. But like that wasn't enough for me at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's grueling. You can look back at, I think it was like 2 episodes ago. So almost like, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks ago when we recorded it,
Mm-hmm.
but I started like kind of probing at it. As I was telling you and our boys that are in our like chat together, is that I noticed you weren't posting it as much. I noticed you weren't talking about it as much. I noticed a lot of things in the like a shift, the way you were eating, the things you were doing. And I was like, this is weird. So I asked a couple questions and you told me, you're like, next time just shoot the shot and like be straight up with
Yeah.
me to hold me accountable. But it's one of those things where like I don't even think at that time you fully knew. I think you were still, I mean,
Right.
looking back at it, you were still, seeing what path you wanted to go down, what route you did. So that's why I was kind of just like, oh, let me ask him these questions. Let me
Yeah,
see
I
what's
think it's been
going
something
on.
like I've been wrestling with for a while, and it was like just convincing myself to just be like, fuck it, because like
Yep.
I'm not a dude who likes to quit shit, especially like this is like a big thing, and I'm like, I don't know, but I mean, obviously, like I put it out today, and the response has actually been a lot better than I expected. Like people are like, dude, like the fact that like you can put it out and be vulnerable about like the reasoning and shit like that. They're
Yep.
like, you got to do what's best for you.
Yeah. And that's what it's about. A lot of people think, and I know that we've talked about sticking to things and going through to the finish line because you never know what you're going to take out of it. And I think you could have muscled through it and I think you could have learned a
Mhm.
bigger lesson. But again, this is something where it's not just a couple days, a couple weeks, or a couple
Right.
months. Like this is a whole year of preparation. This is a whole entire lifestyle change. And so something like this to this grand scale, it's good to be able to back out. It's good to be able to make the choices that you want. But also, I think the bigger message is actually talking about it because a lot of people get embarrassed or they get ashamed or they get something where they might think that X, Y, and Z people are going to say this or do that.
Mhm.
And so that's awesome that, you're coming out with it. You're telling your story because we could easily have not have talked about the Iron Man ever
Right.
again. And nobody would have
And
probably recognized.
that's what Dami was like. She was so I talked to like you, a couple other friends, Dami and my parents really about it, and that was about it. Like about this decision. And she was like, at the end of the day, like you're living in it. No one else actually gives a fuck. She said, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but no one cares whether you do it
Yeah.
or not. But you have this idea in your head that everyone cares. But so then I told my mom, and she was like, I just feel bad because you've put it out there so much. And I was like, that kind of was like, but and that I think was like what turned my head. I'm like, I don't give a fuck though.
Yeah.
Like I really don't care. Like, what's the worst that you're gonna say? Oh, you're a pussy. Okay. And
Yep.
so what? Like, that's it.
Yep.
So I don't know. Like I think that like her saying that, I was able to like step back and be like, yeah, I did put it out there, but like I can also put this part out there. Like I don't want to just show the good shit anyways.
Hmm.
And I think that that's important.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it gets you back in the gym the way you want to be. It gets you eating
Yeah.
differently than you are now. It gets you I mean, shit. And that's gonna probably be my last question is you told us when you started this Ironman that you just completed the marathon and that in order for you to not like derail and go way off the tracks, you have to have something that, holds you down, grounds you, keeps you disciplined. Have you thought about next goals or next mission you're going to go on or anything like that?
I don't really know in terms of like a big like event or like a date on the
Hmm.
calendar. I just know like for myself, I've already been like just strictly lifting now for like a week. And it already feels like I told you the other day, like it feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulder.
Yeah.
Like I can train the way I want to train again. So like right now, my focus is kind of like putting on size, but clean size. So like I kind of want to lean out a little bit, but put on muscle at the same time. And then I don't know, maybe like down the line, like fall or something, I might do another half marathon or full marathon because I do
Hmm.
like running, and that's the thing is I do enjoy running, and this was taking that away from me. Like,
You can get Tone's bitch ass out there to finally do a full
yeah,
marathon.
it was like starting to take away like my joy of running. Like I wasn't enjoying myself when I did it anymore. So I was like, fuck, like if this is that bad, like am I never gonna want to run again? So now like I'm
Yeah.
just gonna focus on strength for probably over the summer. And then if I want to get back into like a race in the fall, I think by then I'll be re-energized and like ready to go back in. But I think I'll know when that happens. I already have one that's kind of in the back of my head
Okay. Dope.
because I know like we'll be back in Colorado by September, and
Yep.
Alex is coming out and doing the Pikes Peak Marathon. Like he's already signed
Mm.
up, so I'm debating that one. But I also don't know if I want to run up a fucking mountain.
Yeah. Fuck that.
So I don't know.
Did
We'll
Tone
figure it
complete
out.
it? Did Tone complete a full marathon? Because he might get on my ass if he did. Was it only half?
I think it was just a half, right? Let me look.
Mm.
I think it was a half, man.
He's about to dog me if it wasn't.
Because I know he was signed up for that half and it fell through. And
Shocking.
then, well, no, like it fell through
No, I
because
know.
like it got shut down. And then, let me
Yeah,
see here.
I don't remember what it was. I just know that he goes through his spurts of running and stuff like that. So
Damn it! All it says is personal best. It doesn't say if it was a full or half.
yeah,
Trying
but
to
what's
zoom
the
in on his
time?
medal. It doesn't say. It literally just the whole caption is
Oh.
personal best. I'm like shit.
Oh well. I think the moral of the story, and
Oh,
I'll let
you
you.
know what? There's a comment where I said full up next,
There we
and he
go.
said I was hoping you didn't ask. Well, let's talk about it. So it was a half.
All right, good. Yeah, you can finally get him out there. He likes those little half ones, so we'll make him do a full next with you. But I think the moral of the story, actually, I'm going to let you tell the moral of the story and what the message is of this podcast, because I think there is a pretty big, I don't know, punchline to the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's like do what's best for you and your mental health. Like, don't worry about any outside factors. Don't worry what people are going to think. Don't worry about even like commitments you made. And I'm not saying like fall off every commitment because that's not this moral of the story. Like, me doing this doesn't mean I'm going to fall off. It means I'm about to go all in on the things that I actually want to do. Doesn't mean I'm about to take some time off and sit on the couch. Like, I'm already in the gym again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I never really stopped going to the gym. That's the thing. But so I think that it's just do what's best for you and your mental health. Don't let anything else affect you. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yes, sir. Have the desire to inspire, baby. Live your best life and live the life that you want to live for you. Izzo.